Hello everybody, I have a video for you today using one of the square sketches from Allison Davis and my How to Color Kit with Style kit for January. So I'm going to start by cutting about 1,000 1-inch squares for this project, and then I'm going to go ahead and line them all up on my background paper. Now, I lost a huge amount of video when I went back to edit and voice over this. So this video is going to be really short in some respects, simply because I don't have all the footage that I wanted or needed. But I decided after going back and forth that I would definitely go ahead and just get this video up, show you what I did, and have it here for you. So I've created my background with all of those little 1-inch squares. I basically took all of the scraps from my How to Color Kit with Style, like all the scraps, and punch them into 1-inch squares. Now, if you're keeping track, then you know that this is the 4th layout that I've done with this kit, and spoiler alert, for my video on the 31st, I have well and truly killed this kit, and I absolutely loved it. I am so happy we went with themes. I think it was a really great idea, and it really helped to kind of jumpstart my creativity in a lot of ways. I'm so sorry this didn't get up to you last night. It was a lot of work putting this background together with all of these little squares. It took me much longer than I thought it would. So I'm going through these stitching stamps. These stamps are from 49th and Market, and I'm laying a whole bunch of the stitches out and putting them onto my Memory Misty so I can stamp all the stitches right onto my background with one pass with my Memory Misty, and I get them exactly where I want. Whew, love that. Okay, I'm going to stamp using icing on the cake, and I'm going to stamp these a couple of times because my icing on the cake ink pad is getting a little dry. I have a refill on order, so we will definitely be getting, more of it. But for now, it's a little dry, so I'm going to stamp it a couple times. Another fabulous use of a Misty. And I'm going to go ahead and put these stitches in. Now, as usual, I cannot show you the sketch that I'm using because it is paid content, but I will link up Allison's sketchbook in the comments down below, and you are more than welcome to grab the sketches and play along with me. So this is sketch number 2 in the book. And another kind of thought as I stamp, because I actually am going to run out of film pretty soon. My photos today are not the best photos. They're fall photos, but they're totally blown out because it was a really sunny day. That being said, they are also the only photos I took on this occasion that included my oldest son, Morgan, and my nephew, Julian. These were the only 2 pictures I had of them. And so I had to keep them. I had to use them. And so you don't always have to scrapbook your absolute best, most beautiful photos. You can scrapbook ones that maybe aren't the greatest, and that's okay. I have lots of photos from this event, but for some reason I do not have any other photos of my nephew and my son. So we definitely needed to go ahead and scrapbook those photos along with all the other ones from this trip. Since all of my time and energy was focused on this background, I don't want to cover it up too much at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to map my photos and with some of the rest of the scraps from my kit. I am going to add 2 little clusters, one that's going to act as my journaling and one that's going to act as my title. And then in addition to those stitched lines that you see, I'm going to add some rows of sequins to add a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of contrast, something a little bit extra to the page. And to help with making sure that these photos kind of pop, I'm going to add a really, really like dark layer of Vintage Photo Distress Oxide to the outside edges. And that way that can catch your eye. And when you look at the page, you're not immediately it's not going to be like blah. That was the other reason I added the sequins. I felt like because I was using the scraps and I kind of had a lot of the neutral patterns left or in scraps. I just wanted to make sure that the photos, while not perfect, were still kind of front and center. I also chose the pink background because I felt like the pink background was going to help, again, to kind of pop the photos up and make them a little bit more noticeable. I was really worried they were just going to blend in because they're so blown out. But again, I mean, look at this. My oldest son was with us. He never goes with us anywhere. And my nephew, Julian, that's the only photo that he let me take of him. So we got to work with what we got. I'm going to use these cute little, they're like labels. And I'm going to pop 2 of the labels up at the top. And then I'm going to pretty much fill in those labels with like all the little phrase stickers that I could find that went along with our day, that kind of described our day. And that's going to act as my journaling. For my title, I am going to go ahead and use more of these Studio 40 chipboard frames. You can see I am using them. I'm using them. We're almost out of them. Yes. And then I am going to grab those 2 journal stickers across the bottom and add them just as some more, a little embellishment to my page. So cute. I cannot wait to show you everything like that I made with this kit. The memory planner spreads, my traveler's notebook spreads, and then you have 4 process videos that you can watch that uses these products. So that's super awesome. Here I am. Okay, so I thought that this was about where my video cut off, but maybe not. And if that's the case, then maybe I have almost the whole process for this. But when I looked at the videos, it definitely cut off at some point. So now I'm a bit confused. Anyway, I'm going through these little tiny phrase stickers. They're from Pretty Little Studio. They are so old. They're from a collection called Oakley Avenue. And I am going to go ahead and kind of stash bust these because I'm going to put any of these cute little fall words that fits in with the day that we had or that describes the day that we had. I'm putting them on there. Okay, so now we've jumped way ahead and I'm putting the sequins down on the page. I just used my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, drew a line with the glue, and then I'm using my Crystal Katana to create these little like accent lines beside the stitches with sequins. The sequins that I'm using are one of the January releases from Spiegelbaum Scraps. I'm trying to think what it's called. I think Twine and Twig or something. I will link them up in the comments down below. So at this point, I realized that at some point my camera had shut off and I didn't have, I thought I had less than I actually had. So I just did a quick little thing to show you the finished layout. Really happy with how this turned out. I am super excited to have used so much of this kit and I can't wait to share all the projects with you. And that video will go up the morning of January 31st. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, everybody, you have a wonderful, wonderful week. The rest of your week, I have a special video coming on Saturday for all of you, and I hope you enjoy that as well. Bye.